Hi, Pastor Nathan Decker with your. Oh, I'm not there. Nope, I'm not over there either. Um, Come a little bit further down here. There you go. Hi, Pastor Nathan Decker with your Better Together devotion for today. And there's a reason that I'm sitting on the floor. And that's because this week we're going to be focusing on one of the ways that Jesus taught us how to express God's love. Now, last week we focused on the first thing that Jesus said. Jesus told us to love God and love one another. And loving God was what we focused on last week. This week, we're going to be focusing on what it means to love one another. And one of the most important things that Jesus taught us about loving one another was loving the least of these. In other words, loving the ones that are on the floor, loving the ones that are on the bottom level, the basement, loving people who are the poor, the needy, those who have been dealt a horrible hand of cards, if they've got any cards at all in their life. In Matthew's gospel, Matthew sets it up as the actions that we do on earth have consequences for heaven. So what you forgive on earth is forgiven in heaven. Our forgiving of someone else here on earth gives us forgiveness within God's delightful wonder of heaven. That's kind of how Matthew's gospel sets things up. And in chapter 24, Jesus says this wonderful parable. He talks about the end of days when all of God's tribes and peoples are gathered together. And he parts them into those on the one side and ones on the other, and it's goats and sheep. And he turns to the ones who are being not accepted, and he says, You didn't help me when I needed help. You didn't feed me when I was hungry. You didn't clothe me when I was naked. You didn't visit me when I was sick or in prison. And they say, Lord, when did we miss out on that? We've always loved you. We proclaim your name from the highest heavens. How did we miss out? And Jesus says, when you didn't do it to the least of these. And he turns to the other group, just to end on a positive note too. And he says, and you did. You fed me when I was hungry. You clothed me when I was naked. You visited me when I was sick or in prison. And they say, when did we do that, Lord? When did we see you? And again he says, when you did it to the least of these. When we start treating people as if they all matter, when we start treating people as they all matter, life is as the kingdom vision. Now, the problem is that we typically don't treat janitors like we treat CEOs. We typically, in our world, don't treat people of different skin color the same way we treat people who have our skin tone. We have problems in tribalism within that keep us and prevent us, and we have fears and hesitancies. There's all kinds of ways that we don't express love. And Jesus challenges us. Jesus says, love, and start at the bottom. Start at the floor level. And when you get that love, when you can love those folks the way that you're supposed to, then it becomes so much easier to love the rest. Love the least of these. This is Pastor Nathan Decker challenging you this week to love, to find a way to get beyond your hesitancies, beyond your stereotypes, beyond your hiccups or your fears, and to love and connect, because we're better when we're together. It's pretty comfortable on the floor.